Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining IPDay's first webinar Wednesday of the 2025-2026 year. Thank you so much for joining us. This session is Florida Ready to Work, Driving Career Readiness and Workforce Wins in Education. So just a few housekeeping things to remember. If you have any questions, please put them in the question and answer portion. We will try to monitor those as we go, but definitely are going to save some time at the end for any questions that you might have. So please remember to put those there. You are in listen only mode at this point, but of course, if you have any questions, use that Q&A chat or Q&A function or put something in the chat. We'd love to say hello. We'd love for this to be as interactive as possible. And of course, just always a friendly reminder, as always, IPDay presentations are recorded, so we are being recorded today. And in a few days, this will be posted on the IPDay website along with the slides. So if you have any questions or want to go back and take a look or share with a friend, please do so. We encourage you to. So with that, my name is Tiffany Voss. I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives with the Florida Ready to Work program, and I will be your presenter today. I've been with the program for about 4 years now, and I serve as the Director of our statewide initiatives, but I also cover our counties, Jefferson County and the Panhandle, all the way west to Escambia and everything in between. So if you're in that area, please say hello. And of course, at the end of the presentation, I'll talk about some of my colleagues who serve the rest of the state as well. So let's get started. I always love to tell you what we're going to talk about. So today we're going to do a quick overview of Florida Ready to Work and what all of our solutions are and how you can be using them with your adult education students. We will then talk about how we align directly with the Florida Department of Education's adult education frameworks, including IET. Then we're going to talk about the new features for the 25-26 program year. And then we're going to conclude and kind of wrap up with our best practices, our workforce wins for you using Florida Ready to Work in your classrooms along with your students as well. So just as a reminder, drop those questions in the chat and we will get started. So first and foremost, what is Florida Ready to Work? So we are the state of Florida's official career readiness training and credentialing solution. Our program is offered at no cost to adult educators or students across the state of Florida through our partnership with Florida Commerce. So Florida Ready to Work is powered by Win Learning. We are a national career readiness solutions company, and we are the official provider and manager of Florida Ready to Work for the Florida Department of Commerce. And so now I'm going to give you a deep dive into each of our solutions and how you can use those with your adult education students. So starting with digital skills. So digital skills is honestly a very good fit for all adult education students, whether you're talking about those 16, 17, 18-year-olds, because I know many of you have told me your adult education students are getting younger and younger, or you're talking about those individuals who are coming back into the workplace. Digital skills is a great solution and a great way to get started with Florida Ready to Work. Now, we have 5 modules that you can use with your students. Of course, everything in Florida Ready to Work is career contextualized and flexible to meet your needs. So if some of our modules don't fit for your students, you don't have to use that part of the training. And I'll talk a little bit about how to customize that later in the presentation. But starting with our digital skills, we have 5 modules that make up this training solution. And we begin with computer operations. So we know that most everyone, especially our younger generation, can use a phone, an iPad, but can they use a computer? Do they understand the difference between a mouse and a trackpad? Can they use that functionally as well? Can they find the settings button on their computer and turn on the camera when they need to and do some of that troubleshooting that an employer is going to expect anyone that comes into a job to know how to do with those computers, really being able to function and use that computer in a workplace setting. Then we move into internet browsing, and internet browsing is great for everyone because not only does it show individuals how to decipher the difference between a .com, a .org, a .gov, and really make those critical thinking skills based on what kind of website they're looking at. It also helps them understand how to professionally use the internet in the workplace, what's appropriate to Google when you're at work and what's not appropriate. And of course, new this year is our AI component. So we've added some objectives within our training that help students understand how AI may impact their internet browsing and why that's important to think about when they're in a workplace setting. Our next module is digital communication, which is great. There are so many different ways to communicate digitally in this day and age, and understanding what type of mode of communication to use for the message you're trying to deliver. For instance, you might have a relationship with your boss that you can text, "Hey, I'm running 5 minutes late," but it's never okay to have a hard conversation like, "I'm quitting and these are the reasons why," via text, social media. It's never okay to bash your employer that way. So digital communication really helps students kind of go through and understand all the ways to communicate and pick the best way for the message they're trying to deliver in the workplace setting. Additionally, we've added that AI component, so students now get a feeling of how AI may interact and may impact their digital communication as well. Next, we have digital documents, which may be very basic for some of your students. Some of them may be past this, but a lot of them are understanding, again, all the different types of documents, Word versus Excel versus PowerPoint, understanding what they are, when to use that type of document for the message you're trying to deliver, and then how to save them, how to share them, how to collaborate on them. Those are all really, really important skills when you come into the workplace, because as we know, you've got to save, you've got to share it, and then you've got to be able to get on Google Docs and work together on a document. So these are some of those skills on how to do that and how to professionally do that in the workplace. Again, we also offer an AI component and how that can help with all of those things when you're creating, sharing, and collaborating on digital documents. Then we have digital security, and this is probably my favorite because digital security now is a life skill. In 2025, everyone has got to be vigilant about keeping themselves safe on the internet, keeping their digital profile protected, and this gives them a really good understanding of why that's important and what their responsibility is to their employer when they are going into a workplace setting to keep themselves safe. And of course, how AI may impact that. So this digital skills training is a great opportunity to just really kind of help your students build up those foundational digital skills that they need to be successful in the workforce, that they need to be a successful student for you as well, and really just build some confidence and give them the opportunity to earn a credential. So you can use the digital skills training, which then leads to your students taking a proctored assessment that will help your students earn the Florida Ready to Work digital skills credential. Great opportunity to really build up their confidence, get something on their resume. And as you'll see here, all of our credentials are state sponsored, signed by Governor DeSantis, and they are endorsed by the National Work Readiness Council. My favorite part about our credential, however, though, is the back. As you are helping students develop those resumes, start writing job applications, and they say, "I don't have any skills." Well, yes, they do, because when they've earned a Florida Ready to Work credential, the skills are listed right here on the back. And it's a great place for them to start, a great place for them to build up that confidence so they understand that they do have some skills and they're not starting from scratch when they're heading into the next phase of their career. So our next solution is probably our most popular solution. This is our soft skills solution. And everybody knows what soft skills is, and everybody probably recognizes that all of our students need soft skills. This is what employers across our state are looking for. They want individuals to be able to communicate, to have those professional skills, and to really be able to come together as a team. So we define soft skills as communicating effectively, which is not just the verbal communicating and being able to present, but of course, also being able to take that constructive feedback, what to put in an email, what not to put in an email, having some of those social media etiquette opportunities, and really helping students understand what's an appropriate way to communicate in the workplace setting and taking that constructive feedback and providing it as well. Then we have conveying professionalism, which is having those dependability skills, right? Having the right attitude, time management, knowing when to show up and step up, really having that great presence about them. And again, coming together in a workplace setting. Promoting teamwork and collaboration is just like it sounds. Being able to work in a team with people who don't look like you, who don't talk like you, who don't think like you do, and coming together for the good of the organization and collaborate to do what's best for the organization. And finally, we have thinking critically and solving problems. So I know firsthand working anywhere from Burger King to the emergency room, you have to be able to think on your feet in a workplace setting and come with a solution and not just think about the barriers and not just think about what's wrong, really being able to provide those thinking critically skills. Now, one of the things I love about our soft skills solution is, again, everything Florida Ready to Work is career contextualized. But when we talk about soft skills, we are really immersing our students into those workplace scenarios. And we're not just asking them multiple choice questions. We are actually giving them a scenario and we're asking them to pick the best way to handle a situation and the worst way to handle the situation. And let me tell you, that's not always easy. I've had folks from CEOs all the way down to high school students taking soft skills, and a lot of them, it makes them scratch their head. But this is a great way to show when those students earn that Florida Ready to Work soft skills credential that they've not just mastered and filled out a test, right? They have really thought about it. They've used their critical thinking skills and thought about the best way to handle a situation and the worst way to handle it. Now, when students take that 1 hour proctored assessment for soft skills, they do earn the Florida Ready to Work soft skills credential, which you see here. Again, signed by the governor, sponsored by the state of Florida, endorsed by the National Work Readiness Council. And right there on the back, all of the skills that that student has mastered, ready to dump on a resume, put on a job application, and show that student potential employers how they've earned that credential and they are ready and have those employability skills to be successful on the job. So we're going to talk a little bit later about how this incorporates into your IET programs, but this is great for all adult education students, a great opportunity to just really help these students build those foundational skills. And finally, our third solution when it comes to Florida Ready to Work is our academic employability skills solution. Now, this works a little bit differently than digital skills and soft skills, which are you take the course, you sit for the proctored assessment. With academic employability skills, we do a deep dive into math, deep dive into reading comprehension, and then a deep dive into data analysis. And Florida Ready to Work, what I love about this is, so many students are like, I'm never going to need math, or why do I need to know how to do this? This really, our courseware and our training materials put the student into a career contextualized setting. So maybe they're working for a retailer and they have to understand how much something is off. So if a sale item is 60% off and someone asks how much it is, this gives them an opportunity to really put them into that situation and understand. Can they read an HR memo and understand what's being asked of them or what their benefits are? Can they look at a technical manual and understand what the steps are to achieve where they're going? And data analysis, that's looking at things like maps, charts, and graphs. Can they look at a shift schedule and understand when they need to come to work, what time their break's going to be, and what time they get off? These are really critical employability skills that helps the student understand where they are right now and where they want to get to based on the jobs that they want to do. If you've heard about Florida Ready to Work or you've been with us for a couple of years, you know that we just revamped all of this courseware last year. It was a great big lift. We're super excited about it. There's a lot of interactive videos within this training, and the students are going to hit all of the career clusters at some point throughout all of the levels. The other really great thing about academic employability skills is that we are uniquely aligned to the U.S. Department of Labor's ONET Job Zone framework. So what does that mean? So ONET is the Department of Labor's database for all the jobs throughout the country, all of the skills, everything from landscaper to CEO and emergency room physician, and everything in between. And it really kind of divides those into levels, understanding how much preparation, how much training you might need, how much education you might need, but also how much math you're going to need. What level of reading comprehension do you need to have? And so our courseware aligns with that. So when students are working in level 1 in our courseware, they're working on math, reading comprehension, and data analysis skills that are needed for a job in Job Zone 1. And that goes all the way down to Job Zone 5. So it really helps students understand how they're going to apply math, reading comprehension, and data analysis at those higher critical level thinking skills. And for you as their teacher, it allows them to really work on an individual schedule. So Tiffany may come in at a level 2 in math, reading, and data, but her peer, Stephanie may come in at a level 1 in math, but a level 3 in reading and a level 2 in data. And it allows them to work their way through the courseware and that content at their own setting. And then, of course, when they sit for the proctored assessments, they'll sit for a math assessment, a reading assessment, and a data assessment. And that's going to give them their overall achievement level. So what I love about this credential is it's customized for each student. So based on what the student gets in math, reading, and data, that's what you're going to see here on the back on how they can apply those skills in a workplace setting. And of course, their overall achievement level is going to be that lowest level score across all 3 assessments. So a great way for your students not only to see where they're at right now, but then they can do some job exploration in ONET and really find out where they want to go and try to keep moving forward and take that time to really set their sights further. So recapping all of our solutions there, Florida Ready to Work is a 2-part program that you can use both parts, one part, or the other part, whatever makes the most sense for you. But our online training is available, and that is for free. As soon as you enroll your students, they can access our training 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as they have internet connection. Each lesson within Florida Ready to Work takes 30 to 45 minutes. Of course, students don't have to do that all at once. They can log in and log back out based on the time that they have. I've got a lot of adult ed programs that use this maybe for 1 day a week. Some use it as the first 15 minutes or the last 20 minutes of class, whatever makes the most sense for you. And we're going to talk about some different implementations at the end as well. Again, that training is optional. We also offer some in-person employability skills training that you can use as the teacher to kind of supplement what we offer in Florida Ready to Work. So that training is the first part. And then, of course, our proctored assessments. So as you students are ready and they want to earn those state-sponsored, nationally endorsed credentials, you can proctor those assessments directly to your students, and they can earn those credentials as a great way to show employers, other education partners, that they've not only taken the time to learn these skills, master these skills, but they've taken the time to get the credential as well. So great opportunity for your students and for your programs. So those are 3 solutions. We have our digital skills, our soft skills, and our academic employability skills, all offered as a part of Florida Ready to Work immediately upon signing up or being a part of the program. Maybe you already are signed up, but you haven't been using it as thoroughly as you'd like. These are some great ways to get involved. Again, you can use 1, 2, or all 3, whatever makes the most sense for you and your students. It's a great opportunity. And again, the program is offered for free here in the state of Florida based on our partnership with the Florida Department of Commerce. So now I want to kind of really drive into implementation. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I find that a lot of you guys have heard about Florida Ready to Work. You kind of know what it is. So now we've done this brief overview, but now let's really dive in deep about how you can use it in your adult education classrooms. And I love to point out, we have really done a lot of work with adult educators, whether you're in a traditional adult education room, technical college, state college. We have really worked with the Department of Education to focus on how we can align this with material that's already out there and how you can use this as a part of your program to supplement what you're already doing. So the first one I wanted to mention is earlier this summer, the Department of Education, the CTE specifically, put out Florida's Career Readiness Skill Guide. And this is where they've taken all the employability standards, skill standards that they want CTE students. So if you've got a secondary, post-secondary program that's working on CTE curriculum, we've gone through all of those standards that they've put together, and we've aligned that to a Florida Ready to Work module. So we've done that and posted that on our website, which I'll share at the end. But just wanted to make sure you understood, if you're working on that CTE program, we've done all of the work for you, aligning the Florida Ready to Work module directly with that standard as well. And of course, a couple of years ago, IPDE and the Florida Department of Education worked together to develop the Adult Education Curriculum Framework. This was a great thing for you guys as you're helping adults really understand what employability skills they need to master. So we've taken those frameworks and those standards, and we've given you the Florida Ready to Work training lesson that matches directly with that standard. So that's another great tool when you're thinking about, gosh, this program really looks and sounds like it makes a lot of sense for me. How does that align with what I'm supposed to be teaching? We've taken that work and done that for you. So we've got those available if you'd like that as well. And finally, we also have formed a partnership with the Florida Department of Education that allows you to use Florida Ready to Work as a part of your IET plan. So I saw that deadline's coming up. So if you're thinking about developing a new IET plan and you're thinking about how am I going to check off that workforce preparation activities box, Florida Ready to Work is an answer for you. So as you can see here on the IET request application, you can actually indicate if you are using Florida Ready to Work and which credential, 1 or 2 or all 3, that you're using to fit that. Because what we know is that the skills that are covered in the assessments to earn those credentials are those workplace activities that they are looking for. So you can see here when it's talking about those workforce preparation activities, if you go back to those curriculum standards and those frameworks that I was talking about, you can see where all of those things align directly to Florida Ready to Work as well. So again, just a great opportunity for if you're already doing one of these programs and you're thinking about how to incorporate Florida Ready to Work, here's a great easy plug and play. And if you needed some wording, we've provided that here on a slide, which will be available later. So you can kind of see how and what wording you might use when you're putting together that application. So now I want to chat about all of the things new that we're providing here in the 25-26 program year. Super excited about a lot of these updates. But the first one I want to share is our revamp to digital skills. So back in late May, early June, we launched our updated digital skills training. I'm super excited for everyone to go in and check it out if you haven't already. Of course, the biggest enhancement to that I've already talked about was but adding AI. AI is everywhere. If you read anything, you are reading AI in it. And so this is really helping students understand how that impacts them. It's not making them an AI expert, but it's certainly helping them not be scared of it and understand how it's going to work in their workplace setting and how it may impact their everyday work. So really, really great opportunity to get students more comfortable with AI and introducing it. We have also added introductory videos at the beginning of each module. And we did that based on feedback we were getting from across the country that really said, hey, if you're brand new to digital skills, you're not really sure what you're getting into. So these videos give a quick overview of what the student's going to learn in the lesson and how it's going to apply to them in that workplace setting to really kind of put them at ease and help them just really be a little bit more comfortable with the content going into it. Of course, with that, we've also made our content more approachable. We really wanted to make sure that we were breaking things down for these learners who maybe digital, the computer is a little bit scary, and really just wanting to make it more approachable. And of course, a lot more interactive content. If you've been in our academic employability skills training, you're going to see a lot of similarities with the digital skills training where it's more interactive. Students have to do a lot more clicking to move on. So it really gets them engaged and keeps them going. And of course, as always, we're constantly improving the mobile experience so it can be accessible to learners in more places. And of course, I add this, digital skills offline isn't new, but what we found is that a lot of our educators didn't realize it was out here. But we do provide for some of your students who maybe have never even turned on a computer some basic instruction for digital skills offline. So this is really a great opportunity for teachers who are working with some lower level digital skills folks, the opportunity to how to get started. Maybe you're working in a prison and your folks don't have access to the computer. So this is a great way to get started as you're getting them access or helping them understand how to use digital skills in the workplace. Now, my favorite update that we've done in the 25-26 year is we have refreshed our assignment manager. If you didn't catch any of our What's New presentations in August, go back and take a look at one of them or contact your local Florida Ready to Work team member and ask for a demo on Assignment Manager. So this is an opportunity that is making it easier than ever before to customize Florida Ready to Work for your students. So traditionally, students have had to start with the pretest, work their way through the lessons, and take the post-test. With Assignment Manager, it allows you to customize and assign the training in an order that makes sense for you and your students. So sometimes maybe you're working on teamwork as the first thing in a class. That allows you to use our teamwork module first, And we can work that, we can show you how to use that so you can make the content even more accessible for your students. Now, our objective-based reports aren't new, but we launched them after our What's New series last year, so I'd love to refresh. We now provide the opportunity for educators to really go in and do a deep dive with students on how well they're doing on the pre-test, the post-test, and the assessment. So as you are working with students and you want to see how they're doing, you can see objective by objective within each lesson, whether or not the student mastered that skill on the pre-test, then again, if they mastered it on the post-test or not. And of course, you can look at what they didn't master on the post-test and do some review before you take them into the assessment. So the opportunity and the amount of information that is available within our objective-based reports is endless. I often tell teachers it can be overwhelming, so just start with one. But this is another great feature that if you're not familiar with it and you're using Florida Ready to Work, be sure to reach out to the Florida Ready to Work team so we can assist you with that. We can get you a demo and we can help you get hands-on with that data information. And of course, as promised, I want to make sure we talk about some workforce wins and some best practices for implementing Florida Ready to Work. So, this is all great, but if you're not using it in the classroom or you don't know where to start, and you haven't maybe seen some other programs do that, we wanted to put that together for you. So I want to start with something that we've had for a little while, but we realize that this is a feature we're not talking enough. So Florida Ready to Work offers digital badging for not only our credentials, but for our online training as well. It's a great opportunity for your students to share and create a digital presence, especially if somebody's returning to the community and they haven't had a digital presence for a while. Using digital badging is a great way to show employers, I have taken the time to go through the training. I have I've taken the assessment and earned the credential. And here's some brief overview on what I had to do to earn that credential. And what we know is that 86% of employers across the country are saying that a credential will allow the person to be kind of put to the front of the line for an interview. It's a great opportunity to market an individual who's coming out of one of your programs or re-entering the community. It's a great opportunity for them to really just create that presence that they might not have had before. And that's something that they can do for free within Florida Ready to Work. A great opportunity, as I said, is again to show not only their credentials, but as they're working through the training, a great way to just kind of stay motivated and show folks that they're working on improving themselves. So I'm going to give a sneak peek and kind of let you guys know we're going to be doing a deeper dive on digital skills on November 19th. So if you visit our website, floridareadytowork.com, you can go and register for our digital badging webinar. We're going to have a special guest from our digital badging partner who's going to talk about what employers are looking for and why it's so important for individuals to be taking advantage of this feature, and of course, how your students can do that. So I hope you all will join us for that quick plug. But again, a great opportunity and a workforce win for your students to really understand that, hey, you're not just working for this. This is something employers are looking for. This is how you can put it on your resume and create that digital profile for those who may not have already had one. Now, a workforce win, I would be remiss if I talked about how to use Florida Ready to Work in adult education and I didn't talk about Brevard County. I'm positive there's somebody from Brevard County on the call, but if not, I know they won't mind me chatting about them. But they are one of our rockstar adult education programs, and they are actually using Florida Ready to Work with all of their graduating students. So if you are an adult education student in Brevard County, you are earning at least one Florida Ready to Work credential. And they're doing this in a lot of different ways. They are using academic employability skills to help students prep for those TABE and CASAS tests. They're finding that that content's really more relatable to the student because it's career contextualized. They're also using soft skills in their IET programs because they recognize that they've got to get individuals ready for the workplace and they've got to have those workplace preparation activities. So IET students are also earning that Florida Ready to Work soft skills credential. So it's a great opportunity for students, to kind of put everything that they're learning together and not only get that diploma and that GED, but they're also earning those Florida Ready to Work credentials to put on their resume and their job applications and really helping them put a foot forward. So we're going to have some of our, we're going to have Brevard County along with Santa Rosa County and Osceola County join us at the upcoming ACE conference. So if you're going to be there, I hope you'll join our session. We are going to have them share how they're using Florida Ready to Work as well, which will be a great opportunity for you to really ask some questions to those in the field who are using Florida Ready to Work. Now, of course, um, we have recently launched our educator resource page because you guys asked us, you wanted to hear, how can I pace Florida Ready to Work? How can I make this last the whole semester? How can I make it last in 9 weeks? So we've been putting together some sample lesson plans for you to really understand how you can use Florida Ready to Work. Again, 9 weeks, 1 week, a whole semester. And we've also are doing some webinars where we can show you how to use Assignment Manager to use that pacing guide as well. So these are some great touch points, great opportunity for you to just plug and play again with materials we've already created. This one is for employability skills over an entire semester. We've also did an example with digital skills in a quarter. So how you can use a 9 week period to go over digital skills and what that might look like, and talking about what a Florida Ready to Work orientation might be, how you can introduce Florida Ready to Work to your students. We then tell you to kind of walk through those pre-tests, really focus on where the students maybe could use the most training, start with those modules first, and then do the ones that they need a little bit less later on. And then, of course, in week 9, have them sit for that proctored assessment so they can earn the credential. Again, we've done this like 6 ways till Sunday, so there's probably one on there for you to do. But if you find that, hey, I'm looking for a 10-week model, or I want to do digital skills and soft skills together, those are all great things that your Florida Ready to Work team member can assist you with and help you develop a model that works for you. We also do some lesson plan examples on our website where we provide you the getting started video, give you kind of some questions to ask your students, really kind of help immerse and get that introduction going in your classroom. Adult education may or may not use bell ringers, but maybe you've got some CTE classes as too. We've got the opportunity for you to really kind of deep dive with the student, help them understand how to get started, some reminders. Again, just some great things that you can plug and play into your lesson plans that makes Florida Ready to Work easier for you to use. You can find all of that on our classroom resources page. That's at floridareadytowork.com/resources. You can also scan this QR code. On that page, you're going to find the crosswalks that I went over today. You're going to find those lesson plans, the classroom materials. You're also going to find our newsletters and any webinars that we've done. So great opportunity for you to kind of go back and see some of the things we've done. You can also see events. I also highly recommend visiting floridareadytowork.com/contact. That is where you're going to find your Florida Ready to Work team member in your area. I mentioned earlier, I cover the Florida Panhandle. My colleague Valencia Stroder is in Jacksonville and covers Northeast and North Central Florida. Mary Ellen Batchelor is in the Orlando area and covers the I-4 corridor, so everything from Tampa all the way to Daytona and all of that area in between. And then my colleague Holly McFadden is located in South Florida, and she takes south of I-4. So if you visit floridareadytowork.com/contact and you look for your county, you'll find contact information for your Florida Ready to Work team member, along with a direct link to our calendar. So if you want to learn more information, you want to get a training, you can do that there. So I am going to pause just a second and answer any questions. I don't see any questions in the chat, but I want to give everybody a chance to kind of maybe drop those in there. I know I've been talking really fast. I'm sure I've left something out, but if you've got one, I'll pause for a second and see if anybody's got one. Right. Well, I see a question raised, but I don't think you can come off of mute. So if you'll drop that in the Q&A chat, that would be fantastic. And of course, please be sure to use the QR code. That'll take you directly to our website, or you can visit floridareadytowork.com/resources. Right. Well, I am not seeing any questions in the chat, but I am so appreciative. Ipday, thank you so much for having me. I am going to flip it to the Ipday feedback side. So I believe we're going to have a quick poll on today's presentation. For those of you with your questions raised, please feel free to reach out directly to me. You can, again, find us at floridareadytowork.com/contact. My contact information is there. I'll be happy to throw that in the chat as well. And thank you again for Ipday for having me. For those of you interested, we are continuing with the webinar Wednesdays. So I invite you to join the next webinar Wednesday, which is next Wednesday, October 8th at 3 p.m. It's going to be Shared Skills, Stronger Scores. I hope you will join. And of course, all of this information is available on the Ipday website. So if you visit Ipday website and you want to see today's presentation or register for another one, you can do that as well. And again, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope everyone has a great day.